Welcome back to the UNX Championship Series. I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Chris DeGangi, and we are at Traverse Fitness for our last open qualifier, where we're going to get 3 more men and 3 more women for our first UNX major event.
Right, and that major event is next week on November 2nd. You'll be able to watch it live on UNX Now. But we're going to have 3 major events in our Season of Ninja, where the top 8 men, top 8 women from the season will make their way to the championship event in February. But it all starts in the qualifiers, which is why we're here at Traverse Fitness.
Yeah, and so the competition format today is going to be furthest the fastest, which means athletes will get 1 chance to run the course, and as soon as you fail, your time stops. The tiebreaker looks back at the last obstacle completed and how fast you got there.
And so let's take a look at the athletes that are competing at this qualifier. And on the women's side, you got to talk about, there's some heavy hitters here. You have Jessie Graff, Barclay Stockett, Megan Johnson coming off of just missing qualifying on the women's side.
Yeah, and then on the men's side of things, we've got a lot of American Ninja Warrior veterans, a lot of experience out there. Kevin Bull, Kevin Carbone, Thomas Stillings, Sean Darling Hammond. There are so many. David Campbell, the Godfather, is going to be here. So
the list goes on and on. Kyle Soderman already qualified.
Nick Hansen.
Yeah, I mean, coming down from Alaska. Seth Rogers, Lucas Gomez. The list keeps going. I'm really excited to see the men's competition.
Yeah, and so we're going to jump into the course preview. So let's take a look at what the athletes are going to be facing today.
Right.
So up first, athletes will take on the trampoline jump. Well, they'll jump from a trampoline to the landing pad.
And right into the second obstacle, the wobble steps. Steps that are a little smaller. You got to bound left to right to a rope, and then get your way to touch the trapeze.
Yep, and then you're moving on to the trapeze, where you're going to have to unhook that first trapeze, make your way to the second, and then to the landing pad.
And then right into the sonic steps. Just a bunch of steps that curve around. You can use your hands and your feet if you'd like.
And then we've got wing nuts at different levels, so you have to make your way up to the second wing nut, down to the next wing nut, and to the landing pad.
And then we have a huge warped wall, 20 feet tall, but there's a rope coming down to about 15 feet you can use if you'd like.
And next up, it's the spider salmon. Athletes will make their way down a spider alley into the salmon ladder, while they have to transfer across.
And right into the flywheels, and they're offset and they decline. The first 3 don't have a lip. This is going to be a really tough obstacle.
Next up, it's the mustache ropes. Athletes will jump from the trampoline to the mustache, and then they'll have to make their way to preloaded ropes and get to the landing pad.
And as soon as they cross that threshold before the pad, they're going to release the pipe that's sliding on a zip line. They have to time their jump to grab on and complete the pipe time.
And then it's the balance log. Athletes will have to run across a free spinning log.
And right after that comes to our last combination of obstacles called back and forth. It's actually 4 obstacles in one. A lache to a trapeze, lache back, and then 2 rings where you got to go back and forth and keep your momentum for a big dismount. And the time limit we have is 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a tight time limit. Athletes are going to have to move fast. You won't see a lot of rest on this course because there's just no time for it.
But let's get right into it. And our first runner we have up is Seth Rogers.
3, 2, 1, go.
So up first, we've got Seth Rogers. I mean, this guy came onto the scene huge on American Ninja Warrior, had a great rookie season, made it all the way to stage 3.
Yeah, as a rookie, that's so impressive. And, he's getting his way, having a little trouble unhooking that trapeze, but that shouldn't be a problem for Seth.
Yeah, he's looking smooth here. I mean, the course time limit is 3 minutes, as we talked about. And so right now, it's all about getting through these first couple of obstacles efficiently and fast.
Yeah, 3 minutes is not a lot of time. You're exactly right. You have to get to the back half and give yourself time to attack those obstacles, because if you don't, you're just not going to have any time to rest whatsoever.
And he's going for, a nice little one-arm transfer there.
Mm-hmm. So he's not sure about where to go, and that's one of the tough things about running this early. And Seth is actually our 6th runner of the day. 5 people ran before him, but it's so tough because there's so many new obstacles you learn it the day of, and you got to really know where you have to go. You have to be able to dial it in.
Yeah, Seth, our 6th runner of the day. If you want to catch all the runs, make sure you check them out on UNX Now. They'll all be listed. But we're starting off with Seth here.
Transfer right here. No problem for Seth.
Makes a nice transfer, reaches up for that flywheel.
And I think this is going to be the first big step up in difficulty. Those ledges have no lip. You can see his fingertips over it, and it's not an easy hold.
Yeah, and you can see they're not straight either. They're a little offset each time, so your hips are going to swing out every single time. And you can see him getting a little circular here. But he's lined up pretty nice.
Yep.
And makes the dismount, and he's about 1 minute and 45 seconds now.
Which is crazy. The 3 minute time, he's only got 1 minute and about now 10 seconds left.
Taking a little bit of rest here to chalk up.
Yep. This next obstacle is so huge. It's 3 very big moves.
And he gets onto the mustache hold. So the preloaded rope.
Taking an extra swing, a couple extra swings here.
Oh, I mean, he's a bigger competitor. He's got a good reach. There it is.
So he cleared and
Looking back.
he
And
knows where to go.
the timer's, you could see the pipe in the background. It's gone, and he knows it. He knows it was too late.
Man, it just, you could tell he didn't know where to go. And it was like we said earlier, you saw it right before the warped wall. He's asking judges where to go. And normally, that's completely fine. But that obstacle, as soon as you land, there's a laser that you cross, which releases the pipe. And if you don't time it right, you can't take your time. You have to go into the next obstacle.
Yeah, we saw this in our course preview. And one of the more innovative obstacles we've seen is that laser sets that pipe in motion. And so, you know, as a competitor, as you're going through rules, you have to know that as soon as you land on that platform, that pipe's going to go. So it's just a little bit more visualization that I'd like to see from Seth, you know, going forward. Because, I mean, he was having a great run. I didn't think he was going to have an issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing run to that point. And it looked like he had a lot left in the tank and just, it's tough. Missing that pipe, that's over.
Yeah, but up next, we've got Arnold Hernandez.
Arnold is so strong. I mean, you can see him wearing the cutoff, muscles popping out, and he's been running Movement Lab in LA for quite a bit now. And it's just, when you have somebody who's as strong as he is, running a gym, one arm, one swing dismount.
I love the way you saw how powerful he made that move to the trapeze and just took it off right away, right on the front swing, no wasted energy.
And look at that. Wow, he got his fingertips on it and held it, but just same thing is he took one backswing and then went. He's being really efficient.
Yeah, he's looking good here. Through the wing nuts, and now he's making his way over the warp wall. Not something I expect him to have trouble with. Like we said, this is a 20-foot warp wall, but that rope is hanging down to help our competitors up. It's got the in cuts. And this is really an energy burner. You know, it's not an obstacle that I expect anybody to fail today. But running up that warped wall, getting up and over the top, it takes a lot of energy out of you. And for a 3-minute course, that's going to add up.
Right, and you see right now he's taking time to clean off his shoes. There's a wet towel and a dry towel up there so you can make sure your feet stick, but that's time.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. Just, you know, I think on this course you just got to keep moving and trust your shoes to some point.
And you see his feet above that red tape line. You have to remove your feet before coming down. Nice, across and up one. It leaves him in a really good spot to make an easy transfer to start this obstacle.
And keep an eye on those fingers because,
And going for, we just saw Seth reaching on those, and he was going for the launch and must have just misplaced his fingers, or?
I did not try to jinx it right there. Just as I said, watch the fingers. I mean, like we said, there's no lip on these flywheels, and so definitely something hard to hold on to.
Very difficult, especially, you know, there was a decision to not have chalk available before the warped wall or on top of the warped wall because we didn't want chalk getting on the plexiglass and then athletes slipping, in the spider later on. So there is, you know, a bit of a disadvantage there is, you know, you get to those flywheels, you don't have chalk.
Yeah, I mean, chalk is a big difference. If you're used to training with chalk and then not having chalk during the competition at some points, you know, it makes a difference.
And next up, we have Noah Jones stepping up at our starting line.
Noah Jones rocking the Apex shirt. I like it a lot.
One of our younger competitors. You know, we were actually going through course. Whoa! A little stumble, but he's good.
Look at this kid.
Letting go of the rope.
He's powerful. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, I thought that was going to hurt him a lot more than it did. He was able to build his swing up so easily.
And this is one of the things that I love seeing at these UNX competitions is like these kids who are just so strong. You can tell they train. And he's just attacking this course. I mean, some close calls there on the steps.
Right, and so this is actually it. Is Noah asked, and we figured we'd toss him another pad because that jump is really big. So it's up to the athlete if they want to pull that pad. I'm really worried about this move for him.
He's move.
Whoa! That's awesome.
This kid is crushing it right now. He's at about a minute
connecting that dismount too.
Going for this 20-foot rope wall. The rope's hanging down. And he's got it. Got to climb up here.
This is awesome.
I mean, certainly there's a height disadvantage here.
Yes.
But, he's a smaller, he's lighter competitor. So, I think that balances out a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of big moves. This course specifically, there's some big moves, big reaches, and like we talked about, Arnold having to launch on the flywheels versus Seth being able to reach. I don't think Noah's going to be able to reach on the flywheels. I'm just going to say that right now.
I don't think so.
But he's cruising. He's about a minute and a half through the course right now.
I love the confidence of this kid. I mean, he is attacking this course. I have not seen any hesitation so far. The salmon ladder.
Going up one. Oh, wow. What an impressive run from Noah Jones. That was amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing run. And like I said, I can't get over how just confidently he attacked. He looked like a veteran out there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're one of those younger kids and you come out there, you have to. You're up against some of the greats we've talked about. Campbell, Thomas Dillon, Kevin Carbone. And if you don't go out there and give it your all, you really don't stand a chance,
Yeah, and I think that's what separates a lot of these strong competitors is the confidence, the way they attack the course, no hesitation. But up next, we've got another veteran, Thomas Stilling, somebody definitely not short of confidence here.
Definitely not, and he's got the skill and expertise to back it up too. And we're watching him. He's so smooth. So smooth.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen Thomas compete in so many competitions. I mean, American Ninja Warrior, Wolfpack Ninjas, NNL, UNAs. I mean, this guy competes all over the place. And every time I watch him, he's just got such good execution.
I mean, you look at those transitions too, is in between, going to the Sonic steps and then coming out of them. Wow, just everything's so calculated. I think we really got to watch his transitions here. Boom, takes a look at the warp ball, go. There's no need to waste any time there. He knows it.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that this is a fast course. You got to move. And so he's just attacking it.
And he's only at 45 seconds to this point, which is blazing fast.
Yeah, the fastest we've seen so far to this point. Making his way down the spider salmon. Like we said, you got to keep your feet above that red tape line.
Mm-hmm. Doing a little front hip circle there.
Little flare there. It looks like it took a little bit of extra core energy, but Thomas certainly not somebody I'm going to question in terms of strategy. This guy's got so much experience.
But I think one of the things we talk about a lot is getting on and off obstacles, which Thomas does better than almost anybody.
Perfect dismount there.
He is flying. He set himself up right now at 125. Set himself up to still have more than a minute and a half left to finish this course. Like we talked about, it's about getting through the first half, getting through the easier obstacles for somebody like Thomas as fast as possible to set yourself up to be able to take a rest like this.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely can afford himself the rest there with the speed that he's going at. Onto the mustache ropes.
Wow. Popping the hips back. Yes.
Perfect. And now he's got the log time.
Nice. Yeah, gives a little pump up to the crowd.
I love that obstacle.
Yeah, it's so cool.
He's got a minute left. Oh, takes a little hit from the log.
Just under a minute now.
Now you got to move. You got 2 obstacles left, but that last obstacle is pretty time consuming.
You can't look past this one. Not something I worry about for somebody like Thomas, so quick, a parkour athlete, but now we're into the last section, 40 seconds left. And from here, he's got to make his way to that trapeze bar. Got it, and back. Looked like he was thinking about going there.
And he needs to move back.
Time might be an issue here. He's got 20 seconds. Uh-oh. Gotta get the other ring and come back.
Ring and come back.
Oh, no. He lost his momentum. He's gonna have to build it up. He's got 10 seconds to do so.
Oh, this is gonna be so tricky. I mean, those rings are just...
I don't know how he's gonna do it.
Come on, Thomas. Oh, and it looks like there goes the timer, and he just times out. Oh,
That's
man,
brutal.
and brutal. And I think it just came down to the way that he attacked that ring slider.
Yeah, and it's, that last section of obstacles back and forth, you really got to keep your momentum on those 2 rings. If you don't have the right momentum, like we saw with Thomas, there's really nothing you can do because those free slide so much. So you can't kick, you can't build up momentum if you don't have it to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really got to commit once you grab that second ring and you take that backswing. Like, you got to go full on to that ring.
Which, easier said than done at the end of the course, too, when you've been blazing the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's really interesting because he was going so fast, and he really didn't have that much time left, which makes me really worried for this course because Thomas is one of the most efficient, one of the quickest athletes out there. I wonder if other athletes are going to be able to get to the end and even have as much time as Thomas did.
Yeah, I mean, super fast course. Thomas is a fast competitor, but we'll have to see. And up next, we've got Donovan Metoyer.
Donovan. And he's always well-dressed.
If there's anything you can say about Donovan, it's that he's well-dressed.
Yeah, but not afraid to shy away from the chalk on the pants, though.
Oh, little stumble there.
Wow. And that pad, if you overshoot that pad, it's over.
Yeah, and so that's one thing from Donovan. You know, he's a fast athlete. He's powerful, but I think he's a little reckless on the course sometimes.
I mean, going very smooth through the first couple obstacles. Not anything surprising there from Donovan. But I think you're right. He has a tendency.
Oh! Yes!
Wow.
Huge skip on the wing nuts there. I love it.
Maybe a little reckless, but like it pays off. He spent less time in there. He's at 35 seconds right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and Thomas, who was also going so fast, was at around, I think, 45 at this point.
That's huge. I mean, that skip on the wing nuts just saves so much time. And Donovan, I mean, we've seen Donovan compete at UNX. He was at the Naperville Qualifier.
And goes
and
right into the transfer. Wow, he's pulling on all the stops here.
I mean, like I'm saying, he competed at Naperville, didn't get that qualifying spot, and he's gunning for that spot here.
Yeah, well, he's running very early, and there's a pressure when you're running this early. You have to set the pace. Because one of the worst things you can do is just go and, take your time and finish the course, and then you have three people just do the same thing you did, but better and faster, and now you're sitting and thinking, I wish I'd gone a little quicker. I don't think he's going to be wishing that. He's going pretty fast.
I don't think so.
Wow,
Oh,
connecting.
he connects the ropes.
Nice.
Right into the pipe time.
Got to time it.
Time it.
Got it. No legs. Just hold on. Okay, he's good. Wow, a minute 35 right now.
This guy is not slowing down.
He's like 20 seconds ahead of Stilling's pace. Ooh. Was on his toes there a little bit, but he's good.
This is an unbelievable run that we're seeing right now. I mean, he's only at 1:50, and he's on the last obstacle.
This is amazing because now you can see it. He knows that he's got time to take a breath. He's got time to take a breather, and he just saw Stillings fail on this obstacle.
And he's got a minute. He's going for it. He's an earlier competitor. I think this might open up the door and show the other competitors the pace that you're going to have to move at.
The question is, are they going to be able to go at this pace? He's been doing some crazy moves.
Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, he looks so strong right now.
Here
I love
we go.
what I'm seeing.
We'll see if he can keep the momentum, though.
We just saw Thomas go down on this, and he gets his hips
Looks
up.
good.
I like this. Makes the dismount.
Nice.
Wow. Makes the dismount. Clears the course about at 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, that is unbelievable. That was an amazing run from Donovan. And, he's one of the more underrated athletes. I feel like people don't give him as much credit as he deserves. Clearly, he's capable of making these amazing moves and going very fast through the course.
Unbelievable run, and we've seen it in our last two competitions. Joe Meisner, Caleb Bergstrom, early runners, only people to finish the course. I mean, are we going to see the same thing today?
See, I would have said, early runner, and we got to clear. We're going to get 10 clears, but
I don't
every
know.
other time, right, like Joe Meisner, Caleb Bergstrom, they were the only course clears, and they ran relatively early, so I don't really know. I have no idea anymore.
But a huge run from Donovan, and I'm really excited to see how that stacks up.
Yeah, obviously puts him in first place, but right now we have Nelson stepping up to the starting line.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Nelson starting his own timer there.
It's a smart move. Very smart. He's wearing some pie pants also. Ninja favorite.
Definitely a favorite among ninjas. Pi Movement, such an awesome organization. If you don't have pie pants, they're extremely comfortable,
Yeah.
especially to compete in.
He's making
Nelson's looking good.
quick work here. Going right to the front end and treating it just like a trapeze lâché almost.
Oh, and he's got the reach. I like it.
Wow.
Big reach there. He's taking a lot of time here on these wing nuts.
Oh! And just popped off. It looked like he was just trying to time it where his hips were behind him and he'd hit and dismount right away and just underestimated the jump a little bit.
Yeah, it just looked like he didn't get his hands over quite enough to hold on to that wing nut. It's just kind of his fingertips and peeled him right off.
Yeah, but you're trying to be efficient, especially on a course like this, that it happens sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And next up, we have Jessie Graff stepping up to the starting line. Already qualified. She podiumed at the last event, but she can't get enough competition.
Yeah, Jessie Graff, I think, trying to get some more experience under her belt, trying to get back into gym competitions. It's a little bit different of an atmosphere going from American Ninja Warrior to some of these gym competitions. Looking good here on the trapeze.
Yeah. Big pullbacks on the trapeze. Very smart.
And a nice dismount there.
I mean, this is all as expected for Jessie. Looking smooth, looking confident. And this was actually the obstacle she fell on at alternate routes. Let's see what she does here.
Getting a lot of power here. Makes it look good.
Yep. Very comfortable catch.
And the thing I love about Jessie is she's just such a consistent competitor. She's always performing near the top. And the way that she attacks the course is just so consistent.
No problem on that large wall, 15 feet. And Jessie's actually our first female competitor running. So that's such a tough thing, being the first woman to compete, because once again, like we talk about, running early, you got to set the pace for all the other competitors. And everyone's going to be watching Jessie thinking, I have to beat that, I have to do this.
Well, everyone's watching Jessie either way. I mean, Jessie's the kind of competitor where, male or female, you're going to take a look and see what she's doing because she has such good strategy.
Nice big swing here. Transfers
Wow,
up
right
one.
up to the top. Huge move there.
Yep, and onto the flywheels. It looked like she was thinking about reaching, and then as she was reaching, decided to commit. I'm not sure if she knew she was going to launch or reach, but really good run getting to that point. Pretty smooth, very efficient from Jessie.
Yeah, we've seen some other competitors make that reach. Seth Rogers has a huge wingspan, and he made that reach look pretty good. And I think you're right. I think in her mind, it looked like she started off maybe I'll reach, and then midway decided to change it, and so it looked like she just didn't get her fingertips quite on, as much as she needed to.
Right, and I think if athletes are going to reach to, like we saw with Seth, is you always want to go outside to outside. And we saw her go on the inside, which means that it's more of a sloper you're pulling back on. So I'm actually glad that she went for a kind of like a launch, because if she would have tried to static that would have been insanely more difficult to hold on to.
Yeah, but another good run from Jessie. And up next, we're looking at Marc taken to the starting line.
Going shirtless, he's hyped up. And I like seeing athletes having chalk on their body. He's got some chalk on his forearms.
Wow. Nice powerful move into the rope.
Jeez,
Huge
so
swings
much
on these
power.
trapeze.
Get a little crazy, but it's all about efficiency.
And another competitor that we're seeing just jumping into the next obstacle, no hesitation, just going for it. Nice power here, and he statics the wing nut
Just
there.
locking off that transfer.
And he's on the
Nice.
dismount.
Taking a quick stretch and just going right for it. Not even using the rope, just going right for that slat. I think that's probably 16 or so feet.
Wow, that's a big move.
And also no rest on the top of the warped wall. Going right into the salmon ladder.
Makes the transfer. And he's going for that reach. Just like you just said, outside to outside.
Outside to outside.
His hips are a little crooked here. Makes a nice lâché. Just got the dismount left.
Getting a huge swing. Shouldn't be. Whoa!
Whoa! I think he just released a little bit late there.
Yep. I think we're seeing that he's going very fast, very confident, but getting a little out of control, which makes me worried, honestly. I think it's just a matter of time before that catches up with him. You see Kevin Bull right there behind him, getting some beta.
And you could see, I was wondering what he was doing there on the first pad, kind of with those jumps. You could see he was testing out how much give it would have, because he he had 2 feet on the last box to try to go into the trampoline, and I just don't think it gave him enough.
Yeah, you have to run through and then hit the trampoline with 2 feet. Keep that power going to the trampoline. And when you double step, when you 2-foot step before the trampoline, you take all that momentum away. You lose all your power. And he still got his fingertips on the mustache, but just wasn't enough jump to stay on there.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen some other competitors make that jump and make it look fine, but that's a big move. I mean, that's not a move you want to underestimate.
It's a very big move. And the trampoline not being on an angle, being flat, means you really have to have your technique on point to be able to transition to moving upwards. It makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a good run from Marc. It was fast, just a little lack of execution there on the trampoline.
But next up, we have Megan Johnson stepping up to the starting line. And Megan actually is coming off of alternate routes, missing out on qualifying for the major by 1 spot.
Yeah, she failed a log dash, a balance obstacle at alternate routes. She's going to be careful here on the steps. Oh, no.
It's so tough.
It's so tough because I feel like Megan has such good upper body strength, and we're just not getting to see it on full display here at these competitions.
Well, not only strength, but I think one of her greatest strengths is flow. And this is a flow course, is being efficient, being fluid, and moving through the obstacles with efficiency. I really think this course was up her alley, but it comes back to, like you said, falling on balance at the last qualifier, falling on balance here. I don't know if it's nerves, I don't know if it's just not focusing on her feet, but that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen those steps. They do wobble, and you can see her kind of misplace her second step and then overcorrect on the next step and just go right off the side. And
once you start leaning on something like that, it's almost impossible to regain your composure and stay on line.
Oh, yeah, tough run. But up next,
Barclay Stockett.
Barclay Stockett coming up. I mean, this competitor, so strong, so powerful. She has a gymnastics background, and so, I'm expecting to see her take these moves and, be pretty confident here.
And what's tough is she's a shorter athlete, and obviously she's been crushing it on A&W and a bunch of different...
You can see how much those steps wobble there.
Oh, my God. And talk about shorter athlete. She gets the bottom of that rope, but she's so strong. She pulls it in, no problem, and just keeps moving. But that's what I was going to say, is there are so many big jumps on this course. I'm just hoping that she can overcome that stuff.
Yeah, this is a big jump up to this wing nut.
Oh, man. That is a big jump.
She's got so much power. And, with that gymnastics background, we've seen so many gymnasts be successful, competing in ninja. And their air awareness and the power that they can generate on some of these big moves in laches is so impressive.
Yep. She's taking a few extra swings there in the wing nut. She's making sure she gets through. She's about a minute into the course right now. And this is one of the questions here. Is the warp 12, this is 15 feet up.
I don't expect her to have trouble with this. I've seen Barclay specifically training warped walls, getting ready,
You're right.
It's such an iconic obstacle, and she's a shorter competitor, and I've seen her put the work in to get good at warped walls.
Well, you saw it with her stance there, that runner's stance right at the start, is she's had training from sprint coaches to literally, just like you're talking about, she knows that the warp wall is a hard obstacle for her because of her height, and being a competitor that she is, she's gonna train to overcome that.
Looks like her shoes aren't getting the traction that she wants. She's wiping them off there. Smart move. Making her way down the spider. You can see her shoes are slipping there a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's got the bar.
She's at home here. When she's got her hands on something, then she's feeling a lot more comfortable, I feel like.
Especially on the salmon ladder. I mean, this is our salmon ladder.
Wow.
She's done the All-Star Skills special on the salmon ladder.
And right there, that salmon ladder move was the only person we've seen do a connection move like that was Donovan.
Yeah, amazing. And you can see her reaching out there, just really committing to each move.
Nice. Okay, now she just got the dismount. She's at about 2:20, only 40 seconds left. Not a ton of time.
And now she's onto the mustache ropes, and these are big moves. I mean, we've seen it. The preloaded rope really throws you off.
It's a very specific technique with preloaded ropes that you don't get to train very often because most gyms just have ropes hanging around, not preloaded. Doesn't have very much time left.
I mean, she's got 15 seconds to get through this obstacle.
Gotta go, Berkeley.
Oh, it just doesn't. I like the flip there at the end.
Yeah, it came out of it. Nice front handspring. But
Oh, it just doesn't make the jump on the trampoline.
I think it's what we talked about trampoline, that being set basically just straight horizontal makes it, you saw her, she hit it and went straight forward underneath where she wanted to go. It's so difficult to adjust from hitting trampoline like this to being just straight on like that.
Yeah, and especially Barclay, a little bit shorter of a competitor. That's a big move up to that mustache.
It's a big move for anybody. In all honesty, I got to test that course and like I got, fully outstretched my first time on it. I was not expecting it to be that big of a jump. But with Barclay's run, let's take a look at our leaderboard, starting with the women first. And that run puts Barclay in first place, getting further out of any of the women that have gone so far. It's a really, really tough course. And with the amount of time she had left, I don't really know if anyone's going to be beating that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be hard to beat. I thought Barclay was really strong, really powerful. Jessie Graff sitting in second place right now had a really good run. But we've got some more women coming up, and we'll see what they can do.
Right, and on the men's side, looking at the leaderboard for the men, in that first place spot, the only finisher right now, Donovan Metoyer, going blazing fast. Unreal speed and making a lot of big moves, skipping things. That's going to be really tough to match.
It's going to be really tough to beat, especially we saw Donovan get to the last obstacle extremely fast and then take rest there. I mean, I think it's the first place he rested, and so to beat that, you're going to have to finish this course faster.
Right.
And then, you got Thomas Stillings in second place.
Yep.
A really strong run there.
Right, and actually, a couple of runs we didn't get to see. Tyler, who actually was our first runner, taking the third place spot. And if you want to see any more runs that we're not showing today, you can go on UNX now and check out any of those individual runs that we're not going to be making into this qualifier highlight episode.
Yeah, so let's jump back into the competition. We got a lot of strong athletes left.
Talk about strong athletes. We got the Eskimo Ninja stepping up right now, and what an awesome competition having him here. This is actually his first ninja competition that isn't an American Ninja Warrior event.
Yeah, I mean, that's so impressive. This guy's been doing ninja for a while. He's up in Alaska, which just doesn't have the same resources in terms of gyms. Trains on Driftwood. We've seen his home course. Love it.
It's amazing, and I'm really curious to see how he... Whoa! That's a little close there, Nick.
A big save there.
But Nick, the thing is, I don't think the reason that Nick is so good is because he trains on the most high-tech obstacles. It's just not the case. Like you said, he trains on driftwood that he builds himself. It's his confidence.
There's a passion there that when you have access to a gym and there's all this stuff set up for you. It's nice, but when you're in Alaska setting up your own things out of driftwood, you have to have so much passion to train.
If he doesn't set it up, nobody's going to set it up.
It's amazing. I love the passion this guy has.
But here we go, warped wall. This should be no issue for Nick. Actually, the first ever to make it up the mega wall.
Taking some rest here. I'd like to see some more urgency.
I think he was going for the top. He was looking at the rope going, get that out of my way. Well, here we are. We're at 1 minute and 20 seconds. Taking a breath here. And like you said, the warped wall, I don't think it's going to take out a lot of competitors, but it's a lot. You got to sprint up. You have to climb up and over, and then you got to lower yourself down into the spider. It's just fatigue.
It's absolutely fatigue. Not an obstacle I expect anybody to fail today, really. But you're right. It just takes so much energy. Nick making his way down the salmon ladder. Nick Hansen up in Alaska. I mean, I've been seeing him. He's been doing so many amazing things for the youth up in Alaska. One of his missions to kind of spread positivity through Ninja Warrior, and it's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, talk about a positive impact on Alaska. We were up there visiting with him actually, and he's a celebrity. Big to anywhere we went. Hey, Nick Hansen, Eskimo Ninja. Hey, it's amazing. People really look up to him. I mean, for good reason too.
Absolutely, I look up to him 100%. I love this guy.
Nice grab, but right now we're at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Not a lot of time left.
Leaves his hips back.
I like
He
it.
takes the extra swing here.
Come on.
taking the extra swings. I mean, he's got to move.
Yep.
Come on, Nick. Come on.
Oh.
Oh, no.
And you can't use those trusts. Just
And
touches
his
the
feet
ground.
came down. Oh, an unbelievable end. I mean, he was looking so smooth on those ropes. I thought he would just hit that dismount, go right into the next thing, run across that log, and put himself in a good position for the leaderboard.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But like the thing is, I think he had what it took to dismount, but he got a little crooked. So you saw him. He was on the platform, just leaning off to the side. And he's like, I need another swing. And you can't use those trusses. I know they're right there, but using those trusses since they're away from the landing platform is a disqualification. He knows that, which is why he took the extra swing.
And then, yeah, you saw him come back on the swing. His feet did touch the ground, and he knew it. He kind of looked at the judges, came off the rope. A little bit disappointing. I don't think he would have finished the course, but I think he could have at least gotten to that last obstacle.
Yeah, he was running a little tight on time.
Tight on time, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
But amazing first competition. First ninja comp.
Crazy.
For Nick Hansen. It's crazy to think
Yeah.
about. But next up, we have a ninja not afraid to compete. I see him competing all over the place. Southeast region, American Ninja Warrior, Lucas Gomez. One of the Brazzi Bros.
Brazzi Bros.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
We got Brazzi Bro Lucas here. Lucas just had a baby.
Which cuts into your ninja training a little bit, I feel like.
Well, it's got to. I would think so.
But actually, there's a new gym that's been opening up right around where Lucas is from. He's been spending some time at training. And just having access to a good facility makes a huge difference in elevating your skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucas, definitely a really strong competitor. Making it look good on the wing nuts here.
Him and his brother, the Brazzi Bros, started on American Ninja Warrior together, and his brother doesn't compete as much anymore. Lucas is still very much in the ninja community, competing, and he's got a YouTube channel where he does everything Ninja Warrior. You guys should check it out.
And he's at about a minute here, making his way to the spider salmon. Like just getting in there a little bit.
It's a pretty good time. I know Donovan was at about 45 seconds right here at this point, but Donovan was going as fast as a madman,
Donovan had a blazing fast speed, but then Donovan did take the rest at the last obstacle. And I think we'll see athletes take a little bit more cautious approach to try to get there.
I like what I'm seeing here is he's taking the swings that are necessary, lining himself up, but he's not taking a lot of extra. Wow, he's reaching inside on that. Still strong enough to hold it.
Way to this next flywheel. And with the reach, you can kind of, gets a little crooked there.
Watch your shoulders.
And I was just about to say with the reach and every time your body swings over, your hips are kind of getting circular and you're got to fix your swing. And so this obstacle is so energy consuming.
Getting a little bit of chalk. A lot of chalk, actually.
I like it. I'm a huge fan of chalk.
Nice with the grab. Now just building up that swing. Gotta make your way to that loaded rope. You can see it's pulled back.
And you can see as soon as the athletes grab that rope, it just drops down. And he makes his way. Oh, he just did not get high enough on that second rope. And you can see as the rope drops down, didn't get high enough.
Yep.
Didn't make it.
Then just dragged his body on the ground. That was it. But great run from Lucas. Love to see him out here competing.
Yeah, good run from Lucas. And, up next, we've got Anton Flamenco.
Anton stepping up. Anton, an international athlete from Russia. This guy, he's tested on American Ninja Warrior. And, look at his arms.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
I didn't want to call attention to it.
Yeah, I did.
This guy getting crooked. Oh! Oh my gosh.
Wow. Anton honestly was one of the favorites to come in here and do amazing things. As I was saying, testing on American Ninja Warrior, he was testing and beating courses faster than any of the competitors on the show were finishing. But you have to get through the balance in order to get to that stuff,
Yeah, and we've seen it before, just like these athletes who we are so excited to see on the upper body stuff, balance is such a crucial part of ninja. You got to be agile. You got to be able to attack things, and you can see him just get off on those steps.
And I think he is typically agile. He's typically very confident and very sure of himself on those obstacles. I don't know what happened. He must have just a little misstep or something pushed him off to the side, and that was it.
Yeah, tough break there for Anton.
Yeah, but we have another amazing athlete coming up right now, Kevin Carbone, the maker.
Kevin Carbone, this guy.
The maker ninja, sporting a Sean Bryan shirt.
I love it. I mean, this is Sean Bryan's new gym here.
Yeah.
So showing some support here.
Yep, and I love that, a big exaggerated pull there so you can get off really early.
We've said it a couple times, but Kevin Carbone coming off of Ninja Quest, failed spin the cat, which was the big ninja killer there, which is certainly a disappointing run. Huge move there on the wing nuts.
Wow, he is moving fast. And once again, we're talking transitions. Just, hey, look at the warp wall and go.
And he's up that warp wall at about 37 seconds. And this guy, no stranger to moving fast.
This is on Donovan's pace right now.
Which is kind of what I expect when I see Carbone run. I mean, he watches all the runs, looks at the best time, and I think he guns for that every single time.
He's really analytical also. He's made a ton of obstacles. I mean, wing nuts right there is one of them he's made. I think you have to be really analytical like that to be able to make those obstacles, make new things, and run courses as well as he does.
Absolutely. I mean, he's through the flywheels here.
A minute 10 on the clock. So he's got a minute 50 left, getting some chalk. That's plenty of time.
Plenty of time, but this is going to be the difference maker if he can get through the mustache ropes.
And those shoes he's wearing, Jake Murray actually gave him those shoes. There was a mega wall competition, and Jake just gave him... Whoa! Right into it.
Okay. Big move
Come
here.
on.
Keep your feet up. Keep your feet up. Oh, no!
Wow.
And I would have liked to see him take the backswing there. I mean, I think maybe he was a little bit too high up on the rope. When he launched, he just didn't get the launch he needed for that dismount.
Yeah, he was so close. He was right there. Another couple of inches and he would have been fine. But I think he was thinking, like we saw with Thomas and with even Donovan, like if you don't go fast, if you don't be efficient like that, you really don't stand a chance. I think he was in his head thinking, oh, I just took a backswing on the rope before. I need to move. I need to get off this thing.
Yeah, and that's a disappointing end there. I mean, I thought his run was so smooth up until that point. And he just didn't. He was just crooked on the dismount. God,
yeah, I know.
Brutal.
Just a little crooked, a little short on the dismount. But man, I mean the mustache and the ropes, that's taken out a lot of athletes at that point. I think it's a lot tougher than I was expecting that obstacle to be.
Yeah, that's certainly looking like our ninja killer. But we've got some competitors left, so we'll see. Up next, we've got Kyle Soderman.
All right.
Kyle Soderman on the starting line, rocking that lizard shirt. That's, Hunter Gerard, his best friend's shirt. They can't do anything apart.
No, they're always together, even when they're not. And, Kyle Soderman already qualified for the first major next week. But I'm expecting him with no nerves like that. He's so efficient. We're seeing it already.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Soderman, our first UNX course finisher back in Naperville. First person to finish a course.
Yeah. He'll always have that.
Yeah, we'll see if he can finish this one today here.
Right. Maybe he could be the first to clear 2 courses.
Kyle, he's looking good. I mean, he's about 30 seconds here up to the warped wall. Mm-hmm. A little bit slower of a pace than we saw from, Donovan.
Right. I think he's going with the on and off obstacles quickly approach, but he's not sprinting between obstacles, which, on a course like this, we'll see how that plays out. But certainly on the obstacles, he's about as efficient as you can be.
Yeah, I think you're looking at this course, you're looking at this time limit, and I mean, if I'm watching everything unfold here, I'm looking at that mustache rope as something I want energy for.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody like Kyle, him and Hunter, they train as expected, just boom, right into it. But they train fluid moves and just connecting obstacles. So I would expect something like the mustache and the ropes to be really easy. I would expect Kyle to connect it, honestly.
Oh, and I thought he was going to take that dismount right there. But, you're going from side to side there, and so your hips really aren't lined up for that dismount, which is why I don't think we've seen too many people connect that.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're past the halfway point as far as time is concerned. It's taking a little time here.
I like that. I mean, he settles himself on that last box before making the trampoline jump, going for that rope.
Ooh.
You can see his hips weren't quite behind him on that rope. Launching to the next one. Got to keep your feet up. He's taking the backswing. I like this. And
Just
he's off
making
the
sure
platform.
he clears it. Maybe seeing Kevin Carbone.
Oh!
We'll have to see what the judges say.
And I mean, he's still moving on here.
Yeah.
You can see he tapped a little bit onto that blue floor, and he's through the balance log.
Wow. Okay, so Brian Kretsch is waving him on. He's good. That was determined to be incidental contact, but he's only got 40 seconds left here.
Yeah, he's got to move here. We've only seen one athlete finish so far.
First place is out of the question. Donovan actually finished already at this point, but we're just looking for a close play here. Our second one.
Yeah, could he take second place here?
He's got the momentum. Uh-oh.
And it's the same thing we saw from Thomas here.
Oh,
Didn't
he
quite
might
get
have
his
it. He's got
hips.
15 seconds left.
He's gonna have
Does
to
he
shoot.
have it?
Oh,
Oh, man. Wow, that was so close.
Oh, and that is such a hard obstacle to save, but I thought he was going to do it.
Well, yeah, he had he had to take the backswing, and immediately I was like, it's over. But then it's never over with Kyle Soderman, and I can't believe he got that close to saving it.
Yeah, we saw Thomas struggle there, and you could see once your hands are on both rings, there's no momentum you can really build up at that point. It's so hard.
Yeah, I think if he had actually a little bit more time, I think he might have taken one more swing, and he might have been able to dismount and get that clear.
Oh, it was so close.
Wow.
Gets his toes on the platform, falls back. Doesn't quite count, but a good run there from Kyle, and that's going to put him on the leaderboard.
Yeah, that was so exciting there. And next up, we have a lesser-known athlete, Cameron Baumgartner's coming up.
Cam, this guy is extremely strong. I train regularly with him in Naperville, and he constantly is putting me to shame.
He is, strength alone. He's unreal. He's doing things that I don't see other elite athletes doing. And he traveled out here to UNX out in California. Oh, got caught up a little bit, but I think he knows that, and he wants to put his name on the map.
Absolutely, and he's making good time here. You can see the power there on the wing nuts. Oh, I would have liked to see him go there. Takes that extra backswing. That just eats up a little bit of time. But he's got a lot of power. He doesn't quite have the experience, but he's somebody that I like to compare to somebody like Michael Torres. Just so much power, a lot of strength. But Cam, I think he needs a little bit more experience under his belt before he really breaks through.
I think that's what we see is I'd like to see Cam be a little more confident in his moves here. We're nitpicking, right? Like, he's doing great. He's at 52 seconds right here. That's a pretty good pace. But, Donovan, Kyle, Kevin, we're a little faster at this point. This course does not allow you the time to take that.
Yeah, he makes the move up on the salmon ladder. Now going through those flywheels.
Nice connecting, reaching out.
And, I'm kind of surprised that nobody else has skipped on those wing nuts like Donovan. I thought Cam was going to do it, honestly. He's got wing nuts in his gym in Naperville, and he makes big moves on them all the time. I thought maybe he would make the skip.
I don't know if I'd go for it. It's a big move. Nice grab here.
And he's got a lot of power here on this rope. Leaves his hips
Wow.
behind.
Yes.
Connects it. A little.
Okay. You gotta go.
The backswing. And,
Oh, the pipe gets released.
the pipe's gone.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. So unforgiving.
Yeah, it just wasn't a smooth dismount onto the platform, and you could see the pipe starts to go. He's got to collect himself. He's getting up, and the pipe's going. I love the commitment.
Yeah.
Jumps for it.
You have to respect this is not going right, but I have to go for it. He almost had it, too.
He did almost have it.
Wow.
Oh, my
That
gosh.
was unreal. But unfortunate that he just dismounted a little off to the side and then was forced to make that move because he was looking great. He was great on time.
Yeah, he was looking really good. I think, in that situation, you just take the extra backswing on the rope. You make sure that dismount is lined up. It's not something we've seen yet, and I think that's tough to not have seen somebody stumble on that platform. But a good run there.
Great run. But next up, I'm envisioning another great run. Somebody we predicted to be in the top three. Kevin Bull is stepping up.
Yeah, Kevin Bull, this was my number one pick in the predictions. Kevin Bull, extremely strong athlete, so much experience.
Going shirtless, you know, so he doesn't have the extra weight of a shirt, you know, weighing him down.
We'll see if that makes a difference.
But no, Kevin, I mean, talk about experience. Somebody who's been there a million times before and done amazingly well on American Ninja Warrior. Especially his first year having to be a walk-on, not getting the call and just going, no, I'm going to prove it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, really proved himself in that first season and just been such a staple athlete since then.
Well, it's when somebody does a move and it's called, like you have a move named after yourself, especially one where you're going inverted, hanging by your legs on a cannonball.
So iconic.
Yeah. But like even right now, he's at 40 seconds, and we're talking about, you know, a crazy, amazing pace. This is on pace with some of the fastest times we've seen right now.
Yeah, and Kevin Bull, track and field athlete. I think this guy's got the cardio for a 3-minute course. You know, I think he's just in such good shape that he's going to be able to push through this course without having to rest, really.
Going right into it. I'm not taking any rest, any time, just moving. And it's interesting because, you know, he's been owning a couple of gyms, actually. And I've been talking to him over the past, you know, year or two. He hasn't been training as much as he'd like, and he's made a couple life changes recently that are going to allow him to train Ninja a lot more. But he's looking great. It's not looking like it's slowing him down whatsoever.
Well, if he's not training, you could have fooled me.
Right. Does this scare you for when he gets time to train? What is that going to look like? Oh, the 2-foot
And
jump.
2 foot, but, I mean, he gets there.
Yeah.
Leaves his hips back. He's
That's
high on the
beautiful.
rope. I like it.
Whoa!
He's gotta move. Gotta go. That pipe is going. Makes the catch. He gets his feet up.
I'm just going to do this one arm.
And a nice casual ride. Now I'd like to see him get across this log
150.
quickly.
Mm-hmm. He's coming up on 2 minutes here.
And he's through. Now he's on the last option. He's got a whole minute left.
Mm-hmm. See him breathing a little heavy here. You know, he's got time to rest, but not too much. He's got 50 seconds left at this point. Still only one finisher, so if you finish, I think you're in a good spot.
Yeah, and we could see our second finisher here.
Come on, Kevin. You have 40 seconds left. Like he's keeping the momentum.
And it all comes down to this right here. You got to have a really powerful front straight. Oh!
What happened?
And it just, I don't even know. I mean, he looked like he tried to kick out, and when he went to match on his second hand, he didn't get the
just
hand
missed
there or
that hand.
miss, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looked.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is so unexpected especially from somebody like Kevin Bull, but he was looking great. At that point with his kick out, I was thinking, he's got the momentum, he has the expertise, he knows what he has to do, and he has the time to do it. I guess if you miss a hand, obviously it doesn't work out, but...
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I saw from the kick out was it looked like he kicked out a little bit off to the side and not straight back, and so it kind of sent his hips at a weird angle when he went to come in for the match, and so maybe that's what it was, but honestly, just kind of a shocking fall there.
Wow, that is definitely unfortunate. He was looking so great, but we have another veteran. I mean, you don't get more veteran than this guy, David Campbell.
The Godfather, you can see it on his shirt, Ninja Godfather. This guy's been in the game longer than anybody other than 3 other people.
Right. And one of the OGs, it's him, Ryan Stratus, Brian Kretsch, who actually made this course, and Lauren Ball.
Yeah, and I think when you trace back the lineage of a lot of people's ninja careers, so many of them start with David Campbell and his backyard course. An inspiration to so many, and I love watching this guy compete.
The game has changed a lot since he started. I mean, there were no gyms like this, and it's so funny to talk to him about that because I can't imagine going through that like, hey, I got to build obstacles in my backyard to now look at this facility. There's truss, there's wing nuts, there's all this crazy stuff, and he's still in the game. He's still killing it.
It's amazing. I mean, he keeps up so well with all the other competitors. I mean, there's these kids coming up who are
Oh, look at that.
a veteran move right there,
Yeah.
getting a little bit of extra boost from the ramp.
That Vegas run up. Yeah, I think he's just used to it. He can't do it any other way.
Got about a minute here. But David Campbell, somebody's so fun to watch. I mean, he's got so much experience. And he's keeping those feet above that red tape.
I love it. And like from a veteran like David, seeing the confidence to just pop back and go right across the salmon ladder in one move. That's what sets him apart.
Taking a little bit of time here on this first flywheel. It's the reach out. And he's taking some time. You can see he's got the big one.
And this one, there's a lip on, so you get your hands on it. You should be fine.
Gets the
Whoa.
lip, gets a little crooked, slams into that truss there, and that's going to hurt because that kills all your momentum. And so not only is that going to take more energy to make this dismount, but also time.
And so right now he's going into 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's at 2 minutes here. Taking on the mustache ropes, I mean, I think there's got to be a little bit of urgency. You got to get through this obstacle because once you get through this, you're going to have to sprint through the last couple of obstacles.
Well, he's only got 40 seconds left right now. And he's still shaking out. You got to go.
Oh, and just doesn't get the jump on the trampoline that he needed to. He came in a little shallow, I thought, and just didn't quite get the pot. I mean, he got the distance. He sure
Yeah.
got the distance, but didn't get the height that he needed to make the catch.
Well, we've seen that from a couple other competitors is that, like we talked about, that trampoline being set forward, it sends you forward. It doesn't send you up like an angled trampoline does.
Yeah, and so just, a tough end to that run, but, he'll be back.
Yep.
He always comes back.
You know he will. He's not going anywhere. But next up we have Darren Perez. Talk about athletes who's coming back.
Darren Perez taking the starting line. Guam's Ninja Warrior, rocking the shirt.
He's competed in multiple international competitions for American Ninja Warrior and different countries Ninja Warrior. American Ninja Warrior, UK Ninja Warrior, Sasuke Vietnam, and now he's here at UNX.
He actually posted that he just got off the plane coming back from competing on UK Ninja Warrior, drove 9 hours to get to this competition. The guy's crazy.
Well, we'll see if that affects him here. I would imagine that's going to make it hard to compete, but, I mean, he must be used to it.
I mean, I guess, when you compete internationally, I'm sure he's used to traveling. He competed in our Naperville competition and didn't quite get that qualifying spot, but he did have a very impressive run.
Yeah. Right, didn't qualify for the major, but that's why he's here, trying to get to that major. We got to be a top 3 spot. Right now, only one finisher. A couple others got really close, so, we'll see how it goes for him. But he's making pretty good time. He's just under a minute right now to this point, which has been among some of the faster times.
Yeah, taking on the same ladder. And he makes the transfer up. One thing about Darren, especially with just the amount of, traveling and competitions that he's done, is that it's not somebody we've seen a lot, but this is a veteran competitor.
Yeah, he's got experience in a bunch of different countries, competing on the biggest stage possible, so you know that he looks calm. He looks, hey, I'm going to take my rest here. I know what I got to do. He's at 1:45. He's got 1:15 left.
And he makes a good jump up to the mustache hold. Gets to the rope, leaves his hips back, connects it, and he's right to the platform.
Yes.
And he's looking good for this catch.
He's there. Cleared. He's at 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's just got to get across this balance log here. And he's through, and now he's on to the last obstacle. He's at about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I'd like to see some urgency here. Get right into it.
All right, now he's got about 35 seconds to finish this obstacle. I think it's going to be close.
Here we go. It all comes down to this ring. How efficiently you can make this move. And he wasn't... Gets up, and he makes the dismount!
Wow, our second finisher of the day, Darren Perez. I got to be honest.
Yes.
When in his kick forward on the first ring, I saw the momentum. I go, there's no way. He's done,
No
right?
way. I thought there was no way when I was watching that. The way that he kicked out and just the slide on the ring, I was like, this guy's done.
That's crazy. And then he's able to get his hand in the second ring and just kick forward hard enough to get more than enough momentum. And that was an easy dismount.
Yeah, I mean, he made that dismount look easy. And just like you said, when he got his hand on the second ring, he just corrected extremely well and made it to the finish line.
And that's what's so tough, I think, about that obstacle is when it's done right, like Darren or like Donovan, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, that doesn't look like it's too bad. But when it's done wrong, they're dead in the water. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, just made it look easy and an awesome run. And he's our second finisher. And, we don't have too many competitors left. And so he's second place on the leaderboard right now. And, we'll see if that holds up.
Right, but next up we have on the women's side, Olivia is stepping up to the starting line. And one of our younger competitors here, she's actually an A&W junior competitor, so she knows she has experience competing on a big stage.
And Olivia rocking the Forever Ninja shirt. I might be biased because I love dogs, but this might be one of my favorite Ninja shirts.
Who doesn't love dogs? Now, she's looking pretty smooth, confident here. Taking an extra swing in the trapeze, just making sure she's got the dismount. She does.
Stumble there on the steps, but
striding all the way through. I think she's the only one we've seen one step through the Sonic steps.
Yeah, confidence there. I mean, like you said, American Ninja Warrior junior competitor. And she's looking really good here so far. Lining up the swing nut transfer. One hand down. I like that, leading with the one hand and make sure you get your hand on it and then bringing your second hand to it.
Yep, and I like this a lot, is the transitions in between obstacles. She's running to the warp ball because she knows time is an issue, time's a factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Berkeley sitting in first place right now to the mustache ropes. And so she knows she's got to get there.
And this already puts her in third place behind Jessie Graff. And Jessie falling on the flywheels, so we'll see how Olivia does right here. Sam ladder and the flywheels.
Getting herself centered on the salmon ladder here.
Couple extra swings.
And, a little crooked there on the bar transfer, but, I mean, she gets in.
You're right, did not look like she had a lot of space left on the salmon ladder on the right side. She's good, and she beats this obstacle that puts her in at least second place.
You can see her hips are a little crooked here, but gets the reach out.
She's looking good. She's not looking like she's too tired.
Yeah, no, she does. She looks good here. This one's got a lip on it.
Wow. She should have this, right? I mean, I don't want to jinx her, but it's just a dismount here.
Nice dismount.
Wow. So now she's only one of two women that have gotten to this point.
She's at about 2:20.
And actually, that run right now, that puts her ahead of Berkeley's time. So right now, she's in first place, but she wants more. She wants to beat this next obstacle.
Oh, she wants to get through this obstacle. To be the only woman competitor so far to get through this obstacle, that'd be incredible. This is a huge move here.
Little crooked. Oh, just sliding down the rope.
Doesn't quite get the grip that she wanted to on the rope, but overall, extremely impressive run.
Wow.
Like you said, I think it all comes down to the transitions between obstacles. She moved quick between everything and set herself up to take that first place spot.
Right, only a couple of seconds faster than Berkeley, so you're right. It's just the transitions, getting things done a little bit quicker. But ultimately, sliding down that rope, I think that's what's so tough about those loaded ropes is if you launch into it, you'll end up jolting down it a little bit, as opposed to some other competitors we've seen go up high, keep their hips back, and catch it. It's more of a smooth, flowing grab.
Yeah, and so up next, we've got Brittany Durant, and we'll see how she does.
Brittany is a seasoned competitor. She's been competing tons of competitions. A lesser-known athlete, but definitely an athlete.
Looks good there through the wobble steps. Takes her time a little bit. I like the cautious approach. Just get through it.
Well, especially at this point, running this late, she knows exactly where she's got to get, right? She knows she's got to get to a certain point in order to lock in her spot to the major.
And striding the steps there.
Nice. Confidence. Not only the ability to do that, but the confidence to know, yeah, I can do that when it comes to it, when it counts the most.
Looking good on these wing nuts. Makes the move up. Taking a little bit of time here. I'd like to see a little bit more urgency to get through these wing nuts.
A couple extra swings, but she's through.
I do like how she connected on that last.
It's like she
on the last
heard you.
wing nut. Yeah.
Here we go. Taking a breath.
And gets to that rope.
And this is what we talked about. Clearly she's got the obstacle, but it's just every extra move to get up and over. It's fatigue. It takes it out of you. And she's at about a minute 25 right now up the warped wall.
Yeah, and certainly the wing nuts takes a lot of core strength. The warped wall takes a lot of energy to get up and over. These are really challenging obstacles in terms of taking energy.
Definitely. And taking some time here to get into the spider. She's got about a minute 15 left. It's not a ton of time.
Coming up on 2 minutes onto the salmon ladder. I think you're right. I think I'd like to see just a little more urgency here.
Goes up on the transfer, though. That's a powerful move. And here we go, into the flywheels.
Into the flywheels, making that reach.
And looking to be the third woman to make their way through the flywheels.
Okay, so a little crooked.
Just got to fix that swing. That's a lot of time to be hanging.
You just saw like her hips were kind of swinging circular. Like it looked like she was trying to get straight so that she could make the reach out and just took a little bit too much energy. And like we talked about earlier, there's no lip on those.
Right. That's a big deal. I mean, you can't just get your hand out and be, okay, I'm good at this point. You have to be able to hold it and keep going. And she just got crooked. Those swings, because they're offset, if you're swinging the wrong way, there's no way you can reach out without a big aggressive move, especially at that point in the course. It's tough to do so.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, Jessie Graff, already a qualified athlete for the major, and we'll see if Brittany's run holds up to get into the major spot.
Right, but right now, our last runner we're going to see, Sean Darling Hammond, is stepping up to the course.
Sean, an extremely positive ninja. He's rocking the Neighborhood Ninja shirt. That's a nonprofit that he helped start.
I bet you're going to see many smiles from him throughout this course. Whoa!
Oh, a little, oh!
Wow.
Gets a little sideways, corrects
But
a little.
I love seeing, okay, he got to the side of corrects, but then he's like, boom, right back into it. Take it off the hold and just go through. He didn't have to regain himself in the obstacle. He's about, hey, I don't care what happened before. I'm just going to keep moving, aggressive.
Yeah, Sean, currently working on his PhD, extremely smart competitor. This guy's analyzed this course so many times in his head.
He just monkey barred through all of those wing nuts.
Sean isn't the tallest competitor, but his wingspan is amazing.
Must be nice.
But he's looking good. I mean, he's making these transitions in between obstacles.
50 seconds up the warp wall is pretty fast, pretty good.
Yeah, it's not on our first place pace right now, but at the same time, he's moving.
Well, right now we have two finishers, and if Sean finishes the course, doesn't matter how slow he does it. That was fast.
I like that.
But if he finishes the course, he's got a top 3 spot.
And I like that. He reached out and then dismounted right away on that last flywheel there. Sean's nickname, he's known as the Giving Ninja. When Sean started doing ninja, every competition he's ever gone to, if he's won money, he's always donated it. Just an incredible guy.
Wow, that is something. He's getting a little crooked and he goes for it.
I like that.
I hope that doesn't mess him up. I hope he doesn't get crooked here.
But he's building momentum on the rope. Smart, reaches out. His feet up. Oh, and I really
Nice.
like that dismount.
Smooth dismount. Oh,
Come on, the trampoline.
Sean. You're scaring us, man. But he's through at 2 minutes. He's still got a minute left. But you can't look past this balance log. The thing free spins. It's not easy.
I used to live in D.C. with Sean, and we'd climb all the time at the climbing gym, and he would set up these crazy balance courses. He'd grab everything in the weight room at the gym, throw it on the floor, and we'd try to see if we can get through. So Sean definitely very confident in terms of balance obstacles.
He's looking very confident. He's got about 30 seconds left. That's more than enough time to finish.
But it all comes down to this move here. Can you build the momentum on this first ring? And he's lining it up. Oh,
Looking
I like
good
it.
with that swing.
Get
He's
kick
got
out.
it.
He's got to make. Oh, and just doesn't. It
Lose it. He's okay. He's got 15 seconds. Got to figure something out, though.
Can he fix it? That's the question. Oh, and he's just hung up.
No. 5 seconds
Five
left.
seconds left. He's in that same boat as Thomas Stillings, and it's going to come down to time here.
He's just trying to get any swing he can, but his run is over. He's not giving up, but it's done.
Not giving up, but the run is over, and now we're gonna have to see it on the leaderboard.
Yep.
If he was fast enough to that obstacle to take that qualifying spot. And as you guys know, Kyle Soderman already qualified, so he does not take a qualifying spot. So can we do it? Let's just jump right into the leaderboard.
Let's pull the leaderboards and check it out. And sitting in our first place spot, Donovan Metoyer clearing the course, the first clear, and so much faster than every other competitor. 2:27. I mean, he had more than 30 seconds left. On this course, that's crazy.
Yeah, he moved so fast. But then in our second place spot, our second finisher, Darren Perez, international competitor, Guam's Ninja Warrior,
Yep.
looked so strong, got that finish.
Yeah, and a big save on the last obstacle to clear it. And so bringing up third place, like you said, already qualified from our first competition, our first qualifier, Kyle Soderman. And he got to the end and just failed to dismount by his toes. It was so close. And so that leaves Sean Darling-Hammond.
Sean Darling-Hammond taking that fourth place spot, which means Sean Darling-Hammond is going to be competing in the UNX Major. He takes that third spot, and just outside of that was Thomas Stillings, separated by about 4 seconds.
Yeah, just a couple seconds, and it's tough because Thomas was holding on to that third qualifying spot literally until the very end when Sean Darling-Hammond pushed him out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough spot to be in that bubble spot. You're watching every competitor very closely, and you never want to root against somebody, but you also want to make it to the next level, and it's just a really hard spot to be in.
Yeah.
So Thomas, unfortunately, doesn't get to the major.
Right, and so let's take a look at the women's side on our leaderboard. In that first spot, Olivia, A&W junior competitor, the younger competitor, coming out here taking first place and qualifying for the major.
Yeah, and it's always an advantage when you're the later competitor. You've seen the other competitors run. You know the times. You know you have to move fast, and so gets a little bit of advantage there from the randomized run order. But then in second place, going to be competing in our major, Barclay Stockett.
No surprise there. Barclay's so strong. I mean, I think we both expected her to podium, and she got to the same spot Olivia did, but just missed the trampoline jump to the mustache. I mean, but still more than good enough to get to the major event.
Yeah, and then in our third place spot, no surprise, Jessie Graff with an awesome run, so consistent. I mean, she's always on our leaderboard.
Yeah.
Looked very good.
And she's been working through a lot of injuries, too. So for her to be injured and come out here and not having had the time and the ability to train and still podium on this course is very impressive. But she's already guaranteed. She's in the major. So we bumped down to fourth place. Brittany Durant qualifies for the major event on November 2nd.
Yeah, one of our later runners. Great to see her get into that qualifying spot.
But then we got to talk about Megan Johnson, an unfortunately early exit, but once again missing out by qualifying by one spot, just like at alternate routes.
Yeah, tough break there for Megan.
Yep. But like we said, if you want to watch any of the other runs that weren't shown in the qualifier highlight right here, you can go to unxnow.com and you can check out all the individual runs from this qualifier and all the other qualifiers. But right now, next up, we're getting ready for the first ever major event, which is going to be live next week on November 2nd, where all the athletes who have been battling through our qualifiers are going to be there battling it out for top spots and $18,000 in prize money.
Yeah, so if you haven't been watching the other competitions, make sure you guys check out the previous competitions to see who those qualifiers are. You guys can check out our leaderboard on UNX now to see who's going to be competing. It's a stacked group of athletes, and I cannot wait to see it all happen live.
Well, you don't got to wait that long. It's only a week. So we will see you guys there at the next UNX Championship Series event, which is the major event, live next weekend.
Yeah, and for the UNX Championship Series, I'm Chris DeGangi.
I'm Ethan Swanson. We will see you guys next weekend.